All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the daily update of my 1000 days challenge. This is day 202. So let's get things started. All right, so first and foremost, the balance remains the same. There was no trade that was actually closed. And I also opened a couple of long trade, but that was in my main trading account setup. And there was also an experimental trade setup that was for Link itself. So let's see how things goes. Overall, things still looks to be bullish in terms of short to mid term. But bearing in mind that potentially we seem to be a little bit overextended, but the momentum remains there. And yeah, things still looks good in terms of momentum wise, but it's a bit slowing down, which could be a good sign if we're consolidating near a very tight range before we break up towards the upside or the downside, in which case we will see higher volatility in that sense. All right. And yeah, so other than that, talking about the market structure for the daily chart itself, things still remains to be bullish. As you can see, it's been bullish for extended period of time ever since 12th of February until today, which is like for the past 6 days, daily market chart has been strongly bullish as well. So we do see that even though here is near the upstroke resistance, price still tend to be accumulating near it. And of course, like I say, price parabolicness is always like subjective, which is why important to always use the moving average as a guidance in terms of the percentage of how high they are above. Because imagine if you stretch it out like this, you will see that, wow, it looks a lot more parabolic. On the other hand, if I were to just normalize it using this place, it will look a lot less parabolic, and in which case a lot more flat. So things looks a lot more sustainable in that sense. So do bear in mind that a lot of times, especially when you see charts in terms of news, etc., they tend to just skew in the direction that they want you to see, and using the scale wise, you can actually show data in a very different form. So that's something that I do understand when I look through more and more data and do more and more trading in that sense. So yeah, so it's important to be objective and yeah, and not just be subjective and just dragging the scale, which would definitely affect how the price inevitably look in that sense. All right, otherwise, just a very quick update in terms of the position because there's no change in terms of the market structure across the board. Potential retracement wise there is, so I'm definitely waiting for retracement, but otherwise we could definitely still pull up to higher high, but let's see how price goes. I'm definitely not adding more position, but neither am I selling because I'm sticking in terms of long-term position wise for in terms of the traditional financial market wise. For Bitcoin wise, similarly, I'm still staying put in terms of long-term position, but short-term wise, you can see that yesterday we have a very nice break towards upside with minimum resistance. So potentially, even if we do consolidate, I lean towards the upside. And we do retrace to this 20 exponential average and find some sort of support. Similarly, you could add more. And do bear in mind that this position that was entered earlier on has now hit the first target profit of 1:1.5. It hit the max as to 52,640. And remember, I was targeting 52,480 something. Yeah, so it's definitely hit the first target. So you could potentially take first level of profit, or alternatively, just choose to trail all the way, in which case I'll actually be more aggressive to trail all the way. But do bear in mind that if it does fall below the 20 exponential moving average on the forward chart, I could potentially close half of my position for this, and then remaining half at this absolute stop loss, which is this 50 simple moving average, a price fall below it. So in which case I'll just take a very break even or a very small loss instead of the full 1 hour loss itself. So otherwise, that's more or less about it. Nothing too major in terms of changes wise and position wise. So yep, that's more or less about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop by your comments below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.